Now, as war looms between Turkey and Syria after 5 days of mutual shelling, it's still not clear who's firing from the Syrian side. And there's now a new problem looming for Ankara, with Kurdish separatists reportedly setting up their own army just across the border in Syria. Well, let's get all the latest now from our Middle East correspondent, Paulus Lear. Hello to you, Paul. Now, no reports yet this Monday of any further artillery exchange, but is the border tension easing at all?
It certainly doesn't seem as if the border tension is easing at all. What we've witnessed now is 5 days of increasing conflict along the Turkish-Syrian border. At the same time, we've seen shelling now taking place from both sides, and there's real concern in the region that we could be looking at a full-scale war between Turkey and Syria. At the same time, it still has not become any but clearer who exactly is provoking the situation. You'll remember that it started last week, Wednesday, when a shell was fired from the Syrian side into Turkish territory, and there it killed 5 members of the same family. Now, the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan has gone on record by saying that his country is ready for war, and this follows the approval of a mandate last week by the Turkish parliament in which they did give the green light for cross-border operations. This, they say, is to prevent further provocations from the Syrian side. But it's not as if the whole Turkish population is behind the Prime Minister on this issue. We've witnessed more than 5,000 people take to the streets of Istanbul last week, Thursday. There they were holding placards and chanting "No to war" and "Syria is our friend." We've also witnessed similar such demonstrations and rallies in smaller cities and towns throughout Turkey. There have been, though, renewed clashes on the ground in Syria, in several cities as well as in several towns. So the situation inside Syria continues to escalate in this more than 18-month war. We are also hearing from both the rebels as well as from the Damascus government that they are making advances. But of course, it's impossible to verify this information because of the media blackout in that country.
Well, there's plenty of speculation on who's responsible for firing shells into Turkey. So what are experts and observers saying there?
Well, we're increasingly hearing from many experts who are pointing to the fact that you need to remember that the area in Syria from where these mortars are being fired into Turkey are areas that are being controlled by the rebels. And that is why many expert opinions are suggesting that they're being fired deliberately to provoke Turkey into calling on NATO to launch some kind of operation in Syria. And this is certainly something we've heard from Syrian exiled rebel leaders. They do want to see foreign intervention. The irony of the situation, though, is that we're now receiving expert opinion that many of these shells that are being fired from Syria are in fact being fired by weapons that Turkey provided to the rebels to help them fight the Assad regime. So you have this rather ironic situation where Turkey is being fired on by weaponry that it itself supplied to the rebels. In addition to this, we're also now receiving several reports that the Syrian arm of the Kurdistan Workers' Party is forming an army just 15 kilometers from the Turkish border. Now, the fighting, which is concentrated in northern Syria, has seen Kurds take advantage of the situation. They've already claimed several cities there, de facto autonomy. They want independence from Damascus, but they're also now becoming a problem for Turkey. Turkey, of course, is no stranger to the Kurdish problem. Just overnight, Turkish jets were firing at Kurdish hideouts in northern Iraq. So here too you have a situation where Turkey and its assistance to the rebels to fight Assad is now having to fight the Kurds and seeing an escalation in that problem as well.
All right, Paul, thanks very much indeed for bringing us this update. RT's Paulus Lear reporting there.